Thinking about booking a cruise on P&O Iona, or already have one booked? Iona is one of the largest ships sailing from Southampton, and while it's a brilliant ship, there are a few things that can catch first-time passengers out. I've cruised on Iona twice myself, so in this video I'll walk you through 10 things you really need to know before you sail. The first thing to understand is that preparing a few things before embarkation day makes the whole start of the cruise much easier. Online check-in normally opens around 21 days before sailing. This is where you upload your passport details, add a credit card for onboard spending, upload a photo, and download your boarding pass and luggage tags. At the same time, you'll also see your embarkation time. These are allocated automatically, and you cannot change them. The time you receive often depends on your cabin location and your Peninsula Club loyalty status. Another thing you can do before sailing is book your specialty dining. Reservations for restaurants like Sindhu, the Epicurean, and the Beach House are open to book online up to 120 days before your cruise. If you have a particular night or time in mind, it's worth booking early, as the popular slots do go quickly. You can also reserve shows in the Headliners Theatre before you sail. Reservations normally open about 14 days before the cruise. There are usually 3 performances each evening, typically around 6:45, 8:30, and 10:30. The 8:30 show is usually the busiest, so it's worth booking that early if you can. And if you're traveling with children, it's also worth pre-registering them for the Reef Kids Clubs before the cruise. Registration is free and saves time once on board. You can also pay to reserve sessions in advance if you want guaranteed spaces, otherwise bookings normally open each morning for the following day. One of the most common questions people ask is what's actually included in the price on Iona. Your cruise fare already covers quite a lot. That includes meals in the main dining rooms, the Horizon Buffet, the Keys, Taste 360, and Olive Grove. There are 4 main dining rooms on Iona: Coral, Pearl, Aqua, and Opal, and they serve breakfast, lunch, and dinner. The Horizon Buffet runs throughout the day, with a wide choice of dishes. The Keys is another very popular area, and works more like a food hall. Here you'll find hook, line, and vinegar for fish and chips, Asian fusion for noodles and stir-fries, and the Boardwalk Diner for burgers. Taste 360 is located in the Sky Dome and serves pizzas, burgers, and hot dogs, while Olive Grove offers Mediterranean dishes and is also included in the fare. In terms of drinks, you can get tea, coffee, water, and juice included throughout the day in places like the buffet and the Keys. There are also water dispensers around the ship, so it's worth bringing a refillable bottle. But it's not just about food. Your fare also includes entertainment in the Headliners Theatre, live music across the ship, pools and hot tubs, the gym, and most daytime activities. And when it comes to ports, you don't have to book excursions. You can simply walk off the ship and explore on your own. And one thing that's different on P&O cruises is that gratuities are included in your fare. Another thing that confuses a lot of first-time passengers is the My Holiday app. Despite the name, it isn't actually an app you download. It's a web page you access once you connect to the ship's Wi-Fi network. The ship's internal network is free, so you don't need a paid internet package to use it. Once connected, you can use My Holiday app to book things like dining, reserve theatre shows, check your onboard account, and organize your cruise. I'll pop the link to the My Holiday page in the description. Save it to your phone before boarding. Then once you're on board, you can log in and start using it straight away. Every passenger also receives 1 hour of free Wi-Fi during the cruise. Unlike some of the older P&O cruises ships, there are no traditional fixed dining times in the main dining rooms on Iona. Instead, Iona operates an anytime dining system. To eat in the main dining rooms, you normally join a virtual queue using the My Holiday app. Once your table is ready, you'll receive a notification and can head to the restaurant. The virtual queue normally opens at 6 in the evening, and it's worth joining early if you're hoping to dine around the most popular times. If you prefer not to use the technology, you can also go directly to the restaurant and speak to the host, who will add you to the queue in person. All 4 dining rooms serve the same menu, so you can simply choose whichever one has the shortest wait. Some venues are even simpler. At the Keys, Taste 360, and the Horizon Buffet, you can just turn up. Olive Grove works slightly differently and normally requires a reservation once you're on board. If you have a later embarkation time, you might find it looks fully booked at first, but many passengers make multiple reservations and then cancel them later. It's worth checking with the maitre d' during the cruise to see if any spaces have opened up. Specialty restaurants such as Sindhu, the Epicurean, and the Beach House can be booked in advance or using the My Holiday app once on board. The Limelight Club normally opens for bookings about 2 weeks before the cruise, but you can also book when you are on board if not booked up. And if you want to eat at Keel and Cow, that also uses a virtual queue system through the My Holiday app. And if you want a full breakdown of all the dining options on Iona, I've got a full video on that, which I'll link in the description. There's a lot of entertainment on Iona, spread across the ship. The main shows take place in the Headliners Theatre, usually 3 times a night at around 6:45, 8:30 and 10:30. If there's a show you really want to see, it's worth planning ahead as these can fill up quickly. If you don't get a reservation, you can still join the standby queue, and you'll often get in if there are spare seats. Around the ship, you'll also find live music, quizzes, bingo, daytime talks, and even a 4-screen cinema at Ocean Studios. So there's always something going on. One venue not to miss is the Sky Dome in the evening. The huge glass-roofed space hosts silent discos and full production shows with acrobatics and lighting effects. To keep track of everything, just check the Horizon magazine, which lists what's happening each day. Another question people often have before they cruise is what the dress code is like on Iona. Most evenings on Iona are smart casual. That means dresses, trousers, shirts, or polo shirts are perfectly acceptable in most venues. However, on gala evenings, things become a little more formal. Many passengers wear cocktail dresses, evening gowns, tuxedos, or suits. It's not strictly enforced, but most people do enjoy dressing up for the occasion. Children under 17 don't have a formal dress code, although many families still choose to dress up together. On a typical 7-night cruise, you'll normally have one gala evening, while longer cruises often have 2. If you'd rather keep things casual, you can always eat in venues such as the Horizon Buffet, the Keys, or the Beach House instead. Some venues do maintain the formal dress code on gala evening, including Sindhu, the Epicurean, Anderson's Bar, and the Crow's Nest. One other small tip is to pack a jumper or light jacket. Evenings in the Headliners Theatre can feel surprisingly cool. Iona is a very popular ship for families. You've got multiple pools, plenty of open deck space, and a full program of organized activities throughout the day. The kids' clubs are called the Reef, and they're designed for different age groups, so everything feels appropriate without being too young or too old for them. Teenagers also have their own dedicated space called Scene, which is more of a social lounge. You do need to register children before they attend. If you want guaranteed places, you can pay to reserve sessions in advance. Otherwise, bookings usually open at 8 in the morning for the following day. And in terms of cabins, Iona works really well for families. Many cabins sleep 3 or 4 people, with a sofa bed and a pull-down bunk. Across Iona, there's a good range of cabins to suit different budgets. Inside cabins are the cheapest and ideal if you won't spend much time in your room. Seaview cabins give you natural light with a window, without the cost of a balcony. Balcony cabins are the most popular, with your own private space outside. Then at the top end, you've got mini suites, and suites with more room and added perks. One to be aware of is the Conservatory Mini Suite on Deck 8. These sit right by the promenade, so people can look into the conservatory area, which means less privacy than you might expect. Inside each cabin, you've got everything you need. A bathroom with shower and toiletries, plus a main space with the bed, desk, kettle, fridge, hairdryer, and TV. There's also a wardrobe and safe, along with USB ports and UK and European plug sockets for charging. And a really useful feature on Iona, every cabin deck has its own launderette, which is especially handy on longer cruises. Before you buy a drinks package, it's worth knowing what's already included. Tea, coffee, and water are available in the buffet and the Keys, and there are water stations around the ship. P&O Cruises offer 4 drinks packages. Refresh covers soft drinks, and alcohol-free adds things like Costa coffee, teas, and mocktails. Classic is the most popular, covering a wide range of alcoholic drinks. Deluxe builds on that with more premium options. If you're traveling with children, under 17s get the refresh package included when you buy Classic or Deluxe, but you can also pay as you go. One useful tip, you can order full bottles of spirits to your cabin through room service. You can also bring 1 liter of wine or champagne per adult, plus soft drinks on board, which is an easy way to save a bit of money. Finally, it's helpful to understand how disembarkation works at the end of the cruise. Around 2 days before the end of your trip, you'll receive a letter in your cabin explaining your options. If your cruise finishes in Southampton, there are usually 2 choices. The first is self-disembarkation. This means you carry all your luggage off the ship yourself and can usually leave earlier. The second option is standard disembarkation. In this case, you leave your luggage outside your cabin the night before, and the crew will collect it overnight. Your bags will then be waiting for you in the terminal once you leave the ship. You'll be given a specific time to meet at a location on board before disembarkation begins. Cabins normally need to be vacated by around 8 in the morning, but you can still have breakfast before leaving the ship. So those are 10 things you should know before cruising on P&O Iona. But the one thing many people don't realize until they step on board is just how big Iona actually is. And the ship has also recently had a refit, with updates in several areas on board. So, if you'd like to see exactly how the ship is laid out deck by deck, click on screen now to watch my full Iona ship tour.